Hi guys, so here's another Silhouette Saturday. So this Saturday I'm going to be showing you guys how I create stickers using my stamps. So I have a bunch of stamps that I'm going to be creating stickers out of. Love the Sweet Stamp Shop, but in particular I'm going to be showing you guys how to create these little car stamps. I use a lot of these in my planner, so I'll just show you a few of the things. Obviously, I'm going to be using this stamp set from Sweet Stamp Shop, and I believe it's still available, but I think this one is Plan Bills. A little acrylic stamping block, some Memento Tuxedo Black ink because I'm going to be Copic coloring, and then excuse me, my Digi Orange adhesive label paper. And I will also be using, obviously, my Picscan mat. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoy this tutorial, and if you guys have any questions, let me know. I'll see you guys soon. Hi guys, so let's go ahead and get started with the calibration of our machine. So the first thing you're going to do once you've opened up your Silhouette Design Studio software is you'll want to click the third icon from the left, and it's going to say Open Picscan Image. So you're going to click that and open it. Once that's open, we're going to start with importing file, or importing from file, and we're not ready to import the Picscan image because we have to do our calibration. So we're going to select that arrow as well. Click the Show Calibration Test Card, and it's going to open up right here. Now there are other sizes that you can choose. I just leave mine on letter because I think that that's the best default. You're going to go ahead and you're going to need to print this, okay? So select your printer and hit print. I've already printed mine, so I'm going to cancel that, and I will meet you guys back here in just a second for the rest of it. Okay, let's see if I can get this one right. The hardest thing for me about this whole process has been getting the calibration right. And it's a lot of trial and error, because when you're doing the calibration, you're going to get a few, errors on it if you're not taking the picture correctly. So one of the things that I learned from my friend Christy, hi Christy, is that when taking the picture, you want to take it so your camera is vertically and not horizontally. I know that usually when, we're taking a picture or a video, we want to give ourselves the widest plane, but for some reason, when I've been trying to take my calibration picture, if I take it horizontally like this, it doesn't come out correctly. But if I turn my camera so that it's in the horizontal position, it works. So if you guys see, like, my little icon is still in that horizontal position. My picture, or my printout, is in the horizontal, so it fits on the frame. So one thing you can try if you have one is to use a what's the word I'm looking for? A tripod to do this. If you're going to do it by hand, there's a few things you need to take into consideration. When you feel that you're holding your camera flat, it's actually, for some reason, it's not really flat. So there's kind of an angle that you're going to want to hold your camera at. You don't need to, if you can see where I can see the outside edges, if you come in just a little bit closer, oops, like this, and you get most of the picture, you won't have to do any cropping, okay? Another thing that I've learned, and I don't know if you guys can see on the screen, but what I do is I try and line up 2 of the 3 edges. If I try and line up all 4 edges, I end up moving it around and then I never get my picture correctly. You want to take it with the most lighting possible, because if there's shadows on the paper from your, where your hand is, where you're trying to take the picture, then those will show up, and then it will likely not want to calibrate either. So one of the things I do is I have my light and I bring it in so that my camera is above it and it's not casting shadows. Now doing this in natural light would also be a really good idea, but since I'm filming here, I don't really have that option. So as I'm doing it, I'm going to bring my camera in a little bit closer. I don't want to be casting shadows, which I'm about to do if I put my hand right here. But I'm going to line up those two edges as much as possible. And you can tell that holding your camera flat is not giving you a directly bird's eye view of it, because your picture on your camera face, it looks like it kind of spreads out like almost a trapezoid looking number. So oh my gosh, a tripod would really help with this experience. And make sure it's the right orientation. And that. I feel like that was a really good picture. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the photo, I'm going to open it up, and I think that's pretty much as good as it's going to get. I didn't focus it. Oops. I didn't focus it, but it looks really clear, and it doesn't look to me like there's really any shadows on it. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to send it to myself via mail. So I'm sending the email, and I will meet you guys over at the computer. Okay guys, so where we left off last time was we need to download our program. So now I'm in my mail program. I'm going to save it to my computer. It is going to download. Once it's downloaded, there it is, I'm going to show in folder. I'm going to take that file and I'm going to drop and drag it onto my desktop. From there, let's go ahead and minimize that. I'm going to open up my Silhouette program, and as you can see, I've tried to record this a couple of times, so let's delete that. Now we need to create our own profile, so we're going to hit the plus button. I'm going to select the file we just dropped and dragged, and we're going to click open. It's now going to process, and once it's done processing, it's going to create a profile for us to use. And we can't rush technology apparently. There it is. So that is our profile. So now we have to do some stamping and some other things. Hi guys, so let's get to stamping. So I've got a couple of stamping blocks. I've got my Digi Orange paper that I'm going to be using, and then I have a plethora of my stamps out that I'm going to be using to make more stickers. So the one that I wanted to use first was this one. Need to make a few more car icons. And the reason I chose the Memento Tuxedo Black, I don't need the sticker on there, is because I'm going to Copic color them once they're all cut out. I'm not going to do that in the video because that will take forever. So what I'm going to do, you can use a couple of different blocks, but it just depends on how many you want to do. Now I'm actually going to cut this down. Oh my goodness, why can't I figure out what the way I want it to be? I'm going to cut it in half because I'm going to cut just a very small amount for this video. Normally what I do is I'll stamp all the ones that I want and then I'll cut them out, but I'm just looking for just a few for the sake of video purposes. And see, I've already smudged that. I don't even know where the ink came from, so that's great. So we'll just stamp a few. Now I wish I could, like, you know how you can fast forward? I wish I could fast forward this stamping process. Okay, so now that that's done, we're going to put this on our PicScan mat, and we need to take a picture of it. Okay, all right. So you'll forgive me for my PicScan. Apparently, used the wrong kind of something. So you just put this anywhere on your mat. I usually like to do it in the upper right corner. And then I'm going to take a picture of it. But I want to take a photo of it. Let's see, all of this stuff's in the way. Okay. I'm going to take a picture of it on the mat, but I want to be full on the mat. There we go. That's good to me. And now what I always do is I open up the picture and I actually just email it to myself. Mail. So I'll get that emailed off to myself, and then I will see you guys at the computer. Alright guys, so now we have to download our photo. So what we're going to do is click download from our mail program. It is downloading. I'm going to show in folder so I can drop and drag it onto my desktop. Let's go ahead and close out of that. I'm going to minimize that, and here is our Silhouette Studio. You can see I've done this before because the recording wasn't working. We're going to go ahead and import PicScan image from file. Select the image that we just downloaded, and we're going to open it. Now this takes a little bit of time for it to process, so just be patient with it. And it's thinking now. It's thinking a lot. Sometimes these process faster than others, sometimes they don't. It's just a matter of being patient. I am not so patient. Okay, so it's successfully uploaded. Now we have to do our trace function. So we're going to go over to this top bar, and we're going to go to the button that looks like a little green butterfly. And in just a second, here we go. We're going to go ahead and click the open trace window. We're going to select our trace area just like that. And now I'm going to go ahead and select my trace area, keeping it close to those images, but not on them because I want to get all of them. We're going to increase our high pass filter just a little bit to make those lines just a little more solid, but not too solid. All right, that looks good to me. And now I want to trace the outer edge only because I don't want to trace all of these little cut lines. I want them just the outside of them. So I'm going to select trace outer edge only, and there we go. Now there are a couple of them that I stamped really close together, and so they're one sticker, and I'll have to take care of that when I actually use them. So that's it for this segment, and next thing that we have to do is actually cut them out. So I'll be back. Alright guys, so this is the best angle I can get of my silhouette right now. So there's a few things that I'm going to do before I start cutting. The first is I'm going to check my blade depth to make sure that my blade is ratcheted to 1 and put it back in the carriage. I'm going to go ahead and load my mat. So I'm just going to select load mat. Oop, that's unload. Load cut mat. And then I'll go over to my computer and I will get that started in just a second. Alright guys, so I'm almost ready to cut. So now we have to go and change a couple of cut settings. So what I want to do is I'm going to use the white sticker paper function. There are a bunch of them. So you have your commonly used cardstock, vinyl, copy paper, that kind of stuff. And then you have your silhouette defaults. Well, you have to go all the way down. Okay, and it's the Silhouette brand. So I double click it and it gives me more editing options. Traditionally, the I think the default on it is the blade ratchet at 2, and then the thickness I think is at 14. Now the sticker paper that I'm using is the Digi Orange, so I ratchet my blade down to 1, and I'm going to bring my thickness, my cut, the thickness down to the 8, because otherwise it's too thick. So now I'm ready to go. I'm ready to cut. And all I have to do is go over to my machine and it's ready. So I'm just going to click cut. Alright guys, now the big reveal. So we will unload that. I'm just going to move my machine up out of the way. We're going to peel off the sticker paper and they're all still intact. Set my mat right there, and then I'll just show you really quickly the stickers. So they are all stuck like that. So that completes the tutorial on how to make stickers out of your stamps. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.